Hey everyone, this is Black017 here, and today, I guess this is the start of our BPL playoff. As we are now pretty much going into playoffs as I think the second seed, or technically the first seed of our own division or conference. So, regarding our first opponent, I think if you already see on the screen, pretty much know. So we're be up against a Gearoid. So so far, looking at his team, he has a very I could say compact team with Donwings, Krosma, Alola Ninetales, Hydra, Etran, Electros, Gastrodon, Rotomo, Tentacruel, Mega Arrow, Beware, and Ariados. So a lot of like special offensive mons with some notable physical attackers like Beware, Arrow, and of course, like the mon that just interests me the most is Dawnwing and Charisma because that's like the first time I've actually faced one of those things in a draft league. So, well, then again, this is sort of an Ubers league, so like a low tier Ubers league, and you ask me. So right off the bat, like things I've noticed on his team are like obviously like he is very specially offensive, but like of course some of his mons could be mixed if they want to be. So, and yeah, I think his team is pretty especially offensive still, like, but just have some tricks up their sleeves. Of course, like the Alolan Ninetales is just like there just screams Veil, and the fact that he has like two electrics and two water type Pokemon is kind of interesting as well. So, so maybe he just bring one or two, one of each, I guess you could say, bare minimum. So regarding what I think he'll bring is probably, I think Hydreigon and Heatran are good star right there. Alolan Ninetales as well, just because Veil just helps in general. So just give him his defense raises and whatnot. I actually expect Gastrodon because in no sense Gastrodon has a good way to wall my team if he plays around it. But it sort of like loses momentum for him in a way. But if we're able to remove its item and knock off removing lefties or just any toxics on, I think we could get rid of we handle Gastron pretty well. And then like mons like Tentacruel, like Rotomo, I think ironically speaking, even I mentioned those mons, I think they're the ones I really think we could handle the best. But then again, Tentacruel is like and Ariados have access to toxic spikes, so that's pretty much gonna force my hand there. So since I'm not bringing Vileplume here this week, so I think the big problem would be letting in Necrozma or Aerodactyl setup in some fashion. Like Necrozma has like a massive 157, 150. I don't know. It's like around 150 something, and that attacks our special attack stat is like pretty high, and has access to powerful BS moves like Moongeist Beam, even Calm Mind. I think it's forced to grow in Signal Beam because our Hidden Power Ice because Crocodile kind of walls him completely. So if he just carries anything else, so Hydra and Gon I think is probably gonna be the most annoying Pokemon if he's like some weird specs or choice. No, I think choice specs is probably his best, or Stallbreaker plus Z is really good. And also Beware having SD with Veil would be really annoying. I've seen him run that, so. So anyways, regarding what we're bringing, we have a Crocodile that's very specially defensive, no attack investment, because it pretty much comes down to like this Crook being more of a defensive anchor for the team. Like, I felt that like there's not really much Crook can do. I just set up rocks, go with Earthquake spam, knock off removal items, and just toxic stuff. Because like honestly, with the Necrozma's very good bulk, and there's a good likely chance that he has Cooler Berry, so I really have to hope that like I have to just get the right toxics in, like on Arrow and Hydra and on even Necrozma and Gastro. Like those mons are pretty deadly in their own right, and I gotta wear them now for Blaziken and Cirium B to do work. So not much to say. Pretty utility based, but pretty nice. I'll probably be our lead if he doesn't bring like certain Pokemon, so like the Beware. So Next up, well, I'm gonna skip Blaziken because I'm gonna just talk about the next three, and then I'll just talk about Blaziken and Cirium last. So we have Zapdos, with Discharge, Hidden Power Grass, Defog, Roost. Now, originally I wanted to run Sub, because I just noticed how Sub, Roost just pretty much owns his entire team. Like, I don't really see a way for him to break that, especially if I get the right Toxics in. And if I could get that in, then yeah, Zapdos could just go in, could just flat out ship his entire team down for Blaziken. I do have Hidden Power Grass because, of course, the Gastrodon is just there, just staring in my face. And I do have Defog just to remove T-Spikes from, or Webs from Ariados. Because if he sets them up, that would be really annoying for Blaziken and Cirium B, so... I am very Spadef built with Calm Nature, so we're able to take hits from, like, Hydra, Necrozma. And the best part about it is, like, if they're using Moongeist Beam or whatever, or Photon Geyser, we'll be able to tank those with a high Spadef. And pressure stall them, so removing, so that instead of like only 7 remaining, they'll have 6 out of 8, so they're just like down to a third, to 3/4, and then half, then a quarter, and then oh look, they're out of like damage. So, but very likely they'll probably have moves like Taunt or just Specs in general, just to break through Zapdos. So yeah. Now the next Pokemon we have is our Go Fish, the Alamomola. So it's pretty, self-explained. Liquidation, Toxic, Wish, Protect. This has been the most... Honestly, Alamomola has pretty much been... I used to have a very huge disinterest with this thing when I literally lost to it in a sort of the pseudo-finals thing back in PFA, where it just literally got the 1 in 3 chance Protect, and yeah, I lost from because of that. So, but now Aloe is serving our side, so but we're not running 1 in 3 chances today. We are going with Liquidation because essentially speaking, we just want to hit Heatran very hard. The same with Aerodactyl. I didn't want to run Scald because it kind of conflicts with Toxic, and I felt Liquidation with defense drops would be pretty nice. I know that this is set as well by Gastro, but we're fast enough to outpace it. So anyways, so we're just gonna have a Toxic there, just wearing it down, just getting your chip down. It's pretty nice. And Liquidation just has that's great 1 in 20 chance that, well, not 1 in 20, but like 20% chance that defense drops occur. So that's pretty great if you ask me. I was thinking about Waterfall and maybe Discharge because when that kind of combination I could probably paraflinch some stuff, but I'm not bringing that Jirachi set so this week, as you'll see. But yeah, like the main goal of this guy is just to keep everyone healthy, and there's not really much to say. Like Aloe is just a great pivot, great wall, great mon in general. Something that it's definitely been like sort of one of the better mons in this team. So built Spadef just to take most hits from like Hydra, from the Moongeist Beam from Necrozma, Dawnwings, and whatever. So, but if you're wondering, wait, how the hell does this mon with so little Spadef do that? The answer is it doesn't, and pretty much our answer lies with this guy, Jirachi. So, now this is another. I know we're bringing 2 Wish Mons, and I know that's kind of redundant, but one, this is more so sort of kind of recovering for Jirachi, and 2 is sort of a setup sweeper. So the main point here is Moonblast, because first of all, his entire team is specially offensive, and the Mons that are physically offensive are really weak to Psychic. Like case in point, the Beware, the Ariados. Aerodactyl doesn't want to take Psychic, if it's boosted up. And, yeah. It needs Earthquake just to be able to deal with Mirror Crunch. So he's kind of forced to run Earthquake, Stone Edge. and probably like maybe Roost and Home Claws just to boost back. So, but again, like the main selling point is Moonblast because with Moonblast and Serene Grace, I have a 60% chance to sort of get those SPDF special attack drops. And that could be pretty huge, allowing my Zapdos, my Alomola, or even Jirachi and Crypt just to wall some of his special offense mons. And just like slow him down. So that's pretty much the whole point of having this Jirachi. And just having Moonblast alone, it's just gonna be annoying for him. And if I'm able to get that chip on the with rocks, and if he has Hail up, like his team's gonna get very worn down quickly. With Hail, with rocks, and with the Moonblast drops. Of course, this assumes that he brings a wall in Ninetales just to try to set up. And even then, like, he still has to like go after my Jirachi or go after my Aloe in some fashion. Because if I am able to get Toxics up, I can pretty much stall them out, like semi-stall them out for Blaziken and Cirium. So, yeah. Or even Jirachi, because I do have Calm Mind as kind of like a gimme, so once like most of his special or physical offense mons are gone, then you know it goes in. So our next Pokemon is Blaziken. So it's pretty weird and awkward running a Blaziken with 2 fighting stabs and Ghost move, and here's my opinion why. Because first of all, I just hope to God I don't click Brick Break on Wings or Shadow Claw and Beware. So let's just hope for that doesn't occur. But yeah, Brick Break is just there just because I like the fact that I can just break the screens from like the Veil screens from Alolan Ninetales, and just it's more consistent. Like low kick, I was thinking about running low kick, but like Gastrodon has like I think it does like only like a certain amount. It's base 60 against or base or 90 total like power with stab. Whereas like Brick Break is like 170, or not 170, but 107 like total power in general after stab. So there is a difference in power right there. So running a Brick Break over Veil, so well technically over like low kick. So and then not only that, you have Superpower, which Superpower is kind of an interesting move, because like if you think about it, like none of his mons take a Superpower pretty well, and even Arrow doesn't take it very well as well. Okay, I need to find some like synonyms right there. So like Superpower does like around 90% to Arrow, but with Rocks up, that's pretty much an OHKO. Unless he's like super defensive or whatever. So Brick Break doesn't ensure the 2-shot at times with Aerodactyl if he's bulky. That would Beware and like Gastrodon. I think that's the main reason. Like I wanted to have something that just 2-shots Gastro in a sense, like if it's chipped down already, like so I wanted to have something that's like Brick Break plus Superpower just to like ensure that Gastrodon could just drop dead. And of course, like I'm not activating any like berries and whatnot, so like the idea was to like run like Brick Break just to lead him into thinking that, oh look, like Brick Break's my stab, and then have Superpower just to spam at the right moment. It just also helps versus a Heatran Hydra if I need to OHKO them when I need to. So and if they're like at full, so yeah. And Shadow Claw lastly is mostly just to break Dawnwing's Necrozma. Of course, like I don't have any attack investment, or not. Well, I don't have any setup with like Source Hands or Power Punch, but I think I'm confident that with the semi-stall we're going with this, we should be able to chip his team down really nicely. So, and one last thing is Shadow Claw can always crit, so through Veil, it's on a Dawnwing's Necrozma, so that'd be fun. So. And the last Pokemon is, I believe, Cirium. And Cirium is pretty fun. It's actually a Choice Scarf Hasty Cirium, which Ice, ground coverage, Shadow Claw, and Outrage. Now, the only thing I don't like about this Cirium is that it's Choice Scarfed. Like, I originally wanted this to be like a Life Orb, or no, not Life Orb, but like a ICMZ set. Just to break, with Modest Nature, just to break stuff like Beware, Heatran, and even like Dawn Wings Necrozma. But at the very end of the day, I figured that one, I needed a Pokemon that had more consistent speed and can also wall break. So even though I'm kind of like doing the stereotypical, oh look, here's your wall breaker, slap a Choice Scarf here. It kind of makes sense because nothing really wants to switch into Kira. Like, tell me, what the hell is switching into an Outrage with 349 attack on this guy? It's Choice Scarf. Of course, Noble and Ninetales will do it. Heatran gets chipped down really hard, and then everything else doesn't want to take a hit. So, and even then, like I do have access to Ice Beam, Bolt Beam, and not Bolt Beam, but Earth Power. So I could, if with proper predictions, I could get the Heatran. And if everything's chipped down, or if I get rid of like Heatran and Alolan Ninetales, I could just spam Ice Beam or like Outrage if I really want to. So. And just finish out the game right there. So yeah, I do have the speed investment just to outpace Modest, Hydreigon, Timid, Rotom, Witch Scarf, and also Mega Arrow. So yeah, that's pretty much my team there. So hopefully we'll just get in the battle real quick. So I'll see you guys momentarily.